in Santa Rosa off the 101 Fountain Grove Parkway exit. Call 707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101 or visit fountaingroveinn.com. Hey, welcome back here to the PM Show Weekend Edition with the one and only Larry and Nancy Manetti.
Hello, folks. Well, Nancy, why don't you talk about your favorite thing there?
Well, we've got a great sponsor, 21st Century Vitamins. But listen, all of us are getting older, and just like you and me, you have pain and your joints, and I've been taking joint medicine for my knees for years. But you know what? In 21st Century K9 Maximum Strength, it is the same pharmaceutical grades that we take. K9 Max contains essential building blocks that help maintain and repair your dog's joints and cartilage. K9 Max reduces inflammation from arthritis. It strengthens and maintains your dog's joint flexibility. 21st Century K9 Maximum, it's great tasting liver flavor, chew, and you know what? The dogs love them. So why don't you try K9 Max? It's sold exclusively at PetSmart stores or at PetSmart.com. If you don't believe me, you can go and read all the amazing testimonials from customers at PetSmart.com for this product.
All right, welcome back here, and we have a great guest on the show today, don't we, Larry?
Charles Floyd Johnson.
And the sweetest man ever.
Yeah, but man,
Love him.
what a top-notch producer. Charles, are you with us?
I'm here, guys.
Hi,
How are
Charles.
Hi, Nancy. Hi, Larry.
And
How
say
are you,
hello to
honey?
Michael Horn.
Hi, Michael.
Hey, Charles, I've read a lot about you and heard a lot about you. We're hearing this Rockford Files music. What's that all about?
Well, that's
That was one of his
that's one of the
shows.
shows I got my start on.
I know.
And you won an Emmy for it.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
know.
But you know, I was getting very nostalgic. When I tuned into the show, I heard the Magnum theme, and I went, "Oh boy, does that take me back?"
Yeah.
Charles.
Wait till we have to pay royalties on
was
all these
our
things. Then we're really
producer
going to be broke.
So, Charles,
Yes,
I
sir.
have a question. You started off in Washington as an attorney,
Yeah.
and then from being an attorney, you came to L.A.,
Mm-hmm.
and you went to, was it Tony Barr's School of
Tony
Acting?
Bar School, where I think you also went.
Yeah, I did. I flunked. You passed.
Not true. Not true.
No, but anyway, then you decided that you wanted to be a coordinating producer. No, you first started in a mailroom at Universal Studios.
Why
know,
don't you
that's-
let him tell
Yeah, why
his
don't you let him
story?
tell us? Well, I think Larry's being
Okay.
tested right now.
Yeah.
Charles,
Go ahead,
test.
Charles.
Go ahead. You read
take the
about this
lead.
last night. That's good. So seriously, I'm sure Charles looked in the mirror, Charles Floyd Johnson, and said, wait a second, I'm a lawyer. Maybe I better get into some other profession. And then the rest is history. Right, Charles?
But you know, the funny thing is, my parents wanted me to be a lawyer, and I went ahead and fulfilled their wish. But when I finished law school and worked in the government, I realized it really wasn't what I wanted to do. And I had in the back of my mind, I had this inkling that I always wanted to be in entertainment. But I didn't know much else than being an actor, which is what I saw on screen and I wanted to do. So I switched up careers and decided to come to California and start all over again. And I did. I went to Tony Barr's workshop, and I acted for a while, and then realized that maybe I should. It wasn't quite my calling, and I should try other things, and that's how I got into producing.
So can you just do that, though, Charles? I mean, you got to know something about things. Obviously, you're a smart guy. You were a lawyer, and you got to be very sharp to do that. So you thought acting wasn't your deal. How do you get into producing? You just say, I'm doing this, or what happens?
Well, life is a series of trying to find ways, as you guys know, Larry and Nancy know all too well. It's finding ways to get into certain things, and you have to network. You have to do a lot of research. And I had read, I'll tell you this quick story, that Spielberg, when he left Long Beach State, went out to Universal and went on the lot, and there was a guard that Nancy and Larry know well by the name of Scotty.
Yeah.
And he actually let me on the lot when I didn't know anybody, and I walked around, and I thought, this is where I want to work. I applied for a job there and got into the mailroom. and I was only in the mailroom about 3 days.
Now we're talking, though. You started in the
I
mailroom.
started in the mailroom,
Gotcha.
but I had one of the shortest careers in Universal in the mailroom, and got into, luckily, because I think at the time they were looking for people like me to be behind camera, and I got a job as a business affairs coordinator, a production coordinator, and started on shows like Toma.
Wow.
And $6 Million Man and those kinds of shows where I started working, and that's how I met my friend Steve Cannell, and the rest, as they say, is history.
What?
Hey, Charles,
Yes, ma'am.
did you know Peter Terranova?
Yes,
Now, Peter started in the mailroom, too.
he did. He was he was a little before me.
Oh, was he?
Yeah,
Okay.
we weren't in at the same time.
Yeah.
Actually, I was in around the same time of our friend Reuben Cannon.
Oh, I love, yeah.
Yeah, and
Reuben.
Peter had left before, but I ran into Peter and we worked together over the years
Right.
at Universal.
Yeah.
Can you repeat it for us, Charles? Because I'm sure you had to learn it. Neither rain nor snow. Didn't you have to say that when you were in the mailroom?
Exactly. But remember, Michael, I only had to do it for 3 days.
That's good that you forgot it. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're a quick study.
I was, and then the business affairs job was really a great learning job, and I got to work with an enormous amount of producers. We got to go to dailies, we got to watch cuts, we got to work with the network in terms of clearing scripts and hiring directors and writers. So it was an extraordinary, great learning position, and I worked with people. I got to meet the people like Jack Webb and Roy Huggins, people we all know as well.
Wow.
Boy, you got your
I really did. I
schooling
got my
right
feet
there.
wet and got that was really learning.
That's fabulous.
Was Stephen J. Cannell on Chase then, or was he on Rockford?
Actually, when I went there was the what do you call that? The story editor on Adam 12.
Oh, wow.
Really?
And Roy Huggins had heard about him from Jack Webb and said, he was very good. And Roy said, I'd love to have him produce a show called Toma. And when Steve moved over to Toma to do that show as his first producing job, I got assigned. This is where luck will have it, to be their production coordinator, and that's how
Wow.
I got started with that company.
That was Robert Blake, wasn't it, Toma?
No.
Toma was Tony Musante.
Yeah.
Oh,
Musante,
okay.
yeah.
Wasn't it
Musante.
written for Robert Blake?
No, that was Beretta.
That was Beretta.
Oh, all right.
Which Musante didn't do the second year. There was a whole contract thing, and Beretta came about as a result of Musante not wanting to do a second year of Toma.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Cannell did both shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, among his many, many, many others, as we all know.
Now,
Yeah.
Charles,
Yes.
is it true that you were one of the producers on Baba Black Sheep?
It's true. It's true, Nancy, and that's where I met Larry Manetti.
Yay.
I know him.
Did you meet that guy, Robert Conrad? Was he on that show at the time?
Oh yeah, Larry and I didn't work on that show at the same time because I was on the pilot.
Oh, Larry didn't do the pilot.
I
And
thought
Larry
you were
didn't do
on
the pilot.
Misfits.
And I went back to become a producer on the Rockford Files, and then Larry came on. But we were all in that kind of unit together where we kind of all knew each other.
But
Yeah.
you produced Rockford when Larry and Selick both did it, right?
When they both did it, yeah.
And that was the Lance White episode.
was-
Wait, I have one better. He introduced me to Selleck.
Well,
Well, you should thank Charles
did.
a lot.
Somebody actually introduced you to
He
just
introduced
barge
me to
your way
Se-
into the whole
That's
thing?
true. I was in his car, and we pulled up to the set, and Selleck walked up, and Charles said to me, "You know this guy?" I said, "No," and he says, "This is Tom Selleck, Larry Manetti."
that was the beginning of your relationship.
Yeah,
The
that's
event,
right.
it was an instant happiness on Tom Selleck's face, and the rest is history. It's amazing, wasn't that? Just one
it
look
was.
at Larry
They
Manetti.
had a
That
great
was-
relationship and still do.
That was a lot of fun.
It was good. All right, straight ahead, we continue here. The great Charles Floyd Johnson is here. We're going to continue with Nancy Manetti, Larry Manetti. You've heard of the Kardashians? We got the Manettis.
Oh,
the
stop.
true
How did I
reality
get
show.
saddled with
Next
it?
door neighbor Charles Floyd Johnson is visiting. We'll be back.
And